Hello folks, it's my hope that this video finds you well, and most definitely your Sunday is also turning out to be awesome. Welcome to the Spot On, and on this particular channel we discuss matters politics. So folks, today I want us to discuss something very interesting. I want us to have a discussion around a very interesting topic, what I call Ruto's game plan. On this video, I want us to look at how President William Ruto intends to deal with the Azimio coalition, how they intend to deal with the opposition party and their activities. Folks, you will agree with me that for the past 2 weeks or so, the opposition party, they have heightened their political activities in the country in what they are calling, national demonstration against Ruto's administration. They are calling upon their supporters to, demonstrate, to picket against this particular government. And you've actually seen them from point to point, from time to time, moving to various, counties to spread this particular agenda. Folks, in their message to the country or to their supporters, you've been seeing them, telling their supporters, urging their supporters, planting that particular information, and even sensitizing them on their agenda, on why they want, why William Ruto must actually listen to them and address their plea, and you've seen them since they declared the national, or the countrywide, rather, the countrywide demonstration against Ruto's regime. You saw them in Migori County. Yesterday, they were in I think, Narok County. They visited various parts of that particular county. Today, they are in Mombasa County. Folks, what these people are doing is just to mobilize their supporters. And actually, if you are very keen in the messaging aspect, they have been telling them that, what, on the 20th of this month, we expect you people to come to Nairobi County in what they termed as, a major, a major event or a major declaration. I don't know what they are planning on that particular day, but from the look of things, it might not be good. It might not be that friendly. So, folks, as a result of this particular heightened activities and the promise of the 20th of March, that many insiders in Ruto's administration, they are they're not so sure what Mr. Odinga is actually planning on the other side, and as a result of that, William Ruto has come up with 5 main, methods or ways to counter the activities of the opposition. Folks, that's what I want us to look about today. That's what I want us to discuss today. And folks, before we have that interesting discussion, if you're on this channel for the very first time, kindly can you just take 2 seconds of your time and subscribe to the channel. Folks, that subscription is vital because it's going to make the channel grow. And also, after subscribing, remember to like the video, because through that particular like, this video is going to reach out to as many people as possible. And then, actually, of course, to those who have subscribed already, I can't stop thanking you guys for always supporting this particular channel. It's through that support that we are here where we are today. Now, moving forward, the 5 ways that William Ruto is intending to deal with the opposition. Folks, the first method, according to William Ruto, is that they are planning to make as many appointments as possible from the perceived opposition strongholds. Folks, because I think the reason as to why William Ruto is doing this he wants to encounter, or he wants to deal with one of the agendas of the Azimio, because you remember the other day when before they announced the countrywide demonstration against Ruto's regime, they came up with some issues that they accused the government was not, attending to, or was not dealing or solving. One of them, they accused William Ruto of practicing nepotism, and I think as a way to counter this, William Ruto and his team, they are now feeling like, if they appoint many individuals from the perceived strongholds of the opposition, then they are likely to deflate that particular momentum, and stop Mr. Raila or the opposition team from advancing their agenda. Folks, the second strategy that William Ruto intends to do is to, go slow in arresting and persecuting those individuals, or those allies, those people who are allied to Raila Odinga and Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Because the moment they go hard on them, they are likely to, create that animosity amongst the supporters of these particular individuals. And that's why actually when Dr. Fred Matiang'i was arrested, or presented himself when he was being grilled by the DCI the other day, we had information that Uhuru was actually threatened to go himself, take himself to the DCI headquarters and invade that particular institution, just to ensure that it secures the release of Dr. Fred Okengo Matiang'i. So, and folks, there you had, in I think a week or so before, you heard that there were some individuals that this administration, they were targeting. These particular individuals were allied to these two people, Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga. So the strategy is to ensure that they go slow on arresting and politically persecuting these particular individuals. In the moment that they do that, they are not going to generate or create that animosity, and so that at least people might calm down. Folks, the third strategy that the government, or William Ruto, is wants to employ, is to ensure that actually he has instructed those UDA leaders from Mount Kenya region to go slow on attacking Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, because of course you've seen for the past few weeks, the deputy president and some of these Mount Kenya legislatures, they have been hard on, they have been attacking Uhuru Kenyatta left, right, and center. They have been attacking his businesses. They have been talking about the issue of milk from time to time. You even had, the deputy president saying that they want to reduce that monopoly, and the whole, this particular, scenario was just to attack the businesses of Raila Odinga and that of Uhuru Kenyatta. So these particular individuals, they have been advised to reduce the attack on this particular individual, specifically Uhuru Kenyatta. Why is William Ruto doing so? He's doing so because he fears that the support, or the political support, that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta enjoys, and that Raila Amolo Odinga enjoys, that support, their supporters, if they gang up against government with the problem that is facing this particular administration, then most likely the country is going to revolt. And folks, as I always say, that is not the direction that anybody would have wished to take in case they are in power, and in this case William Samoei Ruto. Then the fourth intervention, or the fourth strategy that William Ruto intends to take against the Azimio coalition is to ensure that they reduce the cost of living. Folks, there I opined in one of my videos that the cost of living was actually on the high, or was rising, because of those particular subsidies that this particular government they scrapped off. Folks, you remember that when William Ruto was sworn into office, there were various subsidies that had been initiated by the fourth administration to cushion Kenyans against the high cost of living. So when this particular administration came into office, these subsidies were scrapped off. They were removed. And as a result, the cost of living, also shot up. For example, the way I did say it, or the way I once opined on this channel that, when you look at the prices of fuel, fuel basically controls a big number or a larger, a big portion of the economy or our economy. The moment that it's on the rise, it means that the prices of the basic commodities are also going to rise. And folks, that we are seeing currently. So the president, or William Ruto, thinks that when he reduces the cost of living, he's going to deflate, the activities of the opposition, and that the opposition are not going to have that particular voice again. So, as a strategy of doing this, William Ruto is planning to reintroduce, those particular subsidies. Some of them to smaller percentage, but is planning to reintroduce those particular strategies, at least to make sure that the cost of living comes down. Folks, this now takes me to the fifth strategy, that is dialogue. Folks, William Ruto is saying that in case those particular the first four strategies that I've just talked about, the first four interventions that I've just talked about, in the event that they fail, he's planning for a dialogue with the opposition. The question is, if it gets to that particular point, will the opposition agree for a dialogue? Because William Ruto is saying that in case those particular intervention fails, then he's going to look for the opposition and then, have a sit down with them and, listen to them. Because the way I said, government needs, that particular tax, that particular revenue for them to work, for them to pay salary, for them to run a government. Remember that you have the members of the military. These military men, they need to be paid. The moment that money is not there, then these people cannot be paid. And for these people to be paid, people must work. In the event that people doesn't work, then the repercussions. So here is an individual who controls almost half of the country. He's saying that, what, I am urging my supporters not to, to continue with their demonstration, peaceful demonstration against the government. The moment they do that, they are going to reduce the workforce. And when the workforce is reduced, what happens to the taxing, that taxing aspect. The opposition leader is also threatening, or is on record advising or telling his supporters that, what, in the course of next week, I'm going to advise you, we are going to produce a list of commodities, a list of services that we feel like you people, you need not to use them. Because they accuse these particular companies, they accuse these particular commodities, those who are behind them, those who are making them, that these are the people who are supporting that particular William Ruto's administration. Folks, in the event that that happens, what does it mean? It means that revenue, is going to reduce. Actually, that's what I call internal economic sanctions. It was in Migori County the other day when he said that, a commodity, something like eggs, the consumption of eggs, his supporters are not supposed to consume eggs, because his argument was that eggs was being produced by the president, that he has a farm, that their work is to produce eggs. He also talked about Safaricom company, claiming that this is the company that is being used to support this administration. And maybe we expect more come next week, the way he promised. So, folks, when you look at all these things, the president, or William Ruto, is saying that in the event that all those particular intervention fails, then he's ready to look for the opposition. My question that I'm asking you is, do you think that the opposition party, that they are going to agree and have a sit down with the president or William Ruto in the event that all these particular issues fail? Will Raila Odinga sit down with William Ruto again in the event that things doesn't work William Ruto's way? Because the moment they do that, that will be akin to another handshake. Are they ready maybe for another handshake? You can always let me know through the comment section. Tell me of what you think. Tell me of your thoughts. And folks, I don't know what you think of this particular video. You can always as well also tell me that in the comment section. And once again, if you have watched this video from the beginning up to now and you have not subscribed, kindly let me remind you once again to subscribe to this channel. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Let's meet again in the next video. Thank you so much.